Welcome to a brand new Webisode. It's 2:48 on Monday, and as I normally am, I'm working on Tuesday's show. I was going to talk Tebow, but I realized yesterday's blog was a blog about Tebow, and perhaps I would spare you from that. The only reason I bring it up is because I just got off the phone with Steven Cruiser, contributor for Breitbart.com, PJTV, and also his own website, Cruiser Control. He's going to be doing weekly updates with us along the same lines of when we hear from SE Cup and when Katie Pavlich from townhall.com calls in out of Washington, D.C. Just political commentary, just adding just another element to the show. He's a Tucson native, lives in Southern California now. But we were talking Tebow, and he mentioned he didn't get a chance to get into it today when he called in for his first of his weekly Monday updates. He's frustrated because he doesn't like to mix his football and politics. Well, that's not Tebow's fault. That's the media's fault for making a big deal about somebody who is a professing Christian and actually goes and leads by example, which is really the reason why Tebow is such a controversial figure. He's certainly not the first football player or athlete, for that matter, to claim that they are to claim they are Christians or to thank God after a performance in whatever sport that they happen to play professionally for. But he certainly is one of the few that seems to really show it in his everyday life and in any given moment. I think for us as Christians, I won't speak for you, but for me personally, he is a really good example. When the more I read about him and what he does, he does really exemplify what it means to be a Christian. And I think it drives people nuts that he says it's just a game, because his walk with the Lord is more important to him than football is. Football is certainly important, but it's not the most important thing. I have a lot of respect for that. So, but anyway, Stephen and I were talking, and he was saying how he's just been frustrated just because Tebow is not a great athlete, yet he keeps winning, and there's all this controversy about him. People talk about him all the time, and I don't dispute that. I don't know that much about football, but I know that you put him next to an Aaron Rodgers, and there isn't really much of a comparison. Doesn't matter, though, he's been winning games, so people don't care, and he loves God, and people want to make a big deal about that. So there, I talked about Tebow anyways. What I wanted to talk about, though, is just to put another point on a story we mentioned this morning. The city council is set on Tuesday of this week, whenever you're watching this, to work on adopting voluntary rules for businesses and taxpayers to follow to fight global warming. I read the story, I did mine, and this is how it usually works. I find the story, I read it again and highlight the portions I want to talk about, and I do notes on it, and then after that moment, usually the next time I'm talking about it is when I talk to you about it on the air. And just reading it again this morning and discussing it on the air, it hit me again just how ludicrous this is. Even if you believe in global warming, okay, I'll throw this out there because I don't. Okay, I do not believe in man-made global warming. I believe we live on a planet that has a lot of cycles to it, that this is nothing but a scheme to soak dollars out of individuals and to prop up a liberal agenda. And we as humans are arrogant to the nth degree to think that we could have any kind of effect on the warming or cooling of this planet. But be that as it may, even if you believe in global warming, you'd be hard-pressed to lay out an argument to me, voluntary or not, that our city council should waste one single solitary minute discussing, voluntary or not, anything that businesses should be doing or taxpayers should be doing, like buying 10% of drivers to buy carbon offsets or everybody purchasing smart meters for their homes. You'd be hard-pressed that they should spend a second of time on that, given the urgency, not even urgency, but given it is an emergency, the emergency is a better word, that we are currently in here in Tucson. We're fiscally bleeding through corruption, through the lack of a business-friendly atmosphere. I have a story here that I'm going to talk about on Tuesday's show. The 10 emptiest cities, Tucson is number one in rental vacancy rates and homeowner vacancies rates. And these idiots are going to sit back and waste time with a voluntary standards of businesses and taxpayers to follow to fight global warming. It's inane. It's insane. It's exactly the reason why we're never going to be able to succeed with the leadership that we have. And unfortunately, we keep voting in these same yahoos. We get what we deserve. Now, that'll change if Tom Horn, who's currently fighting to get rid of our citywide elections and go to ward-only elections. I know there are examples on both sides of how that's benefited Republicans and Democrats alike. By example, Steve Kozachik would have lost the last election if we had ward-only elections because he lost the wards, whereas this cycle around, Jennifer Ross and Tyler Vogt would have won their elections. It's better representation, and we're going to get better leadership in the long run because you're going to have, even if you don't increase the voting block, you're going to have a stronger percentage of individuals voting for the candidate they actually want and not just voting because they have an R or D next to their name. They are just whittling away, just throwing dollars to the wind and wasting everybody's time. That's our new mayor. That's Kozachik, who's got to talk about this as well. Unfortunately, his time's going to get wasted. Fimbres, Ulick, Romero, Scott, the whole interim city manager, Mike Letcher, the whole lot of them. It's a colossal waste. It is the definition of a waste of time. Just wanted to get that point out there. All right. Thanks for watching. Cocktails and Conversation coming up on Thursday. I hope you can make it out. Bamboo Club 4 to 6. Then afterwards, we're heading over to Skybox on Craycroft and River for the debate watching party with Frank and Tenori. So it's going to be a busy week and a busy Thursday. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.